Mindfulness Collective. This right here, right now, is the joy of being a live stream coming to you live from Brooklyn, New York. Folks, very delighted to be here with you as we speak. This very moment, we are starting today's live stream. Big announcement, folks. This particular moment. Very excited to be here with you. Just back from a big, giant, fat concert, which was a lot of fun. I'm looking here. I'm trying to see if there's videos of the concert so I can play some for folks. Very excited to be here with you now. We're going to be meditating for 25 minutes, and then we're going to hear your responses, and then we're going to roll from there. Let's see here. Looking for a video that we can watch together. Nope, not that. Let's see. Oh, 17. Oh, well, 15. Oh. They only have the second ones. Okay, well, listen. What are you going to do? And then we'll go from there. Okay, folks. Very happy to be here with you. This is very cool. Okay, I want to show you folks this before we get going here. As folks trickle in, say hello. Let me know where you're coming from, what you're grateful for. Willow is in surgery today. She's getting spayed today, and they're doing some extra work to get that done. I want to show folks the following. I think I can pretty much, oh my God, okay. That's pretty cool. Okay, let me show you here. Monitor 2, let's turn on monitor 2 and make sure this is right in the money. I want to give you guys a sense of where I was yesterday. Very fun. Sorry, just setting up the window as we get going here. Okay, this is, oh, that's the corner. Good, I'm just slowly getting this in shape. Okay, is this, can you guys hear that bass rumbling every once in a while? That is some construction that's happening nearby. Hello, folks, as you begin to enter. Okay, let me fix this. Sorry, I'm close to having the window set. Okay, there we go. Okay. Welcome, folks. Welcome, Nick. Hello from the void of Karlstad, Sweden. Capital of nothing really. Well, listen, better Karlstad than Kabul. That's all I got to say. Let's see here. Okay. So this is where I was yesterday. Let me see if I can make this bigger so you can see. Not yesterday. This is where I was Saturday. And I was, can you see my mouse? Okay. So this is 35,000 people at this concert. And I was right about here. That's where I was. Right there. Which is really cool. We just got in really early, came in early, and we're right there, which is cool. It was fun, a lot of fun. So that's what's up. That's what happened. That's what I'm like now. So we'll play a little of that later just for fun. Morning, Jean from Brooklyn. Jean, I know you're in Brooklyn now, but I don't know what you're grateful for. Anyone want to hear some matcha? That's some matcha for you. Okay, folks, we're going to meditate for 25 minutes. What I wanted to meditate on in particular today, speedy recovery for Willow's surgery. Surgery is never an amusing thing. You know, today they were like, you know, it's extra, cost extra, but you could get her this, you know, sort of exploratory blood work done, which we advise, but it's not really necessary. I'm like, well, which one is it? What do you recommend? It's like, well, we always recommend it, but it's not really necessary. I'm like, guys, you're killing me here. And they're like, it's $150, but so I went home, just did a little research. It's like, all right, we're doing it. So that's good. That feels good that I am so situated that $150 extra on top of the whole surgery. And she's also having, P.S., not just being spayed, tons of teeth removed. Like none of her baby teeth fell out, and it's going to start to impact her jawline. Like every single tooth has another tooth next to it. She has like her canine tooth and another one next to it. Like her whole front row of teeth is like, I wish I had taken a picture. Anyway, I'll see if they can take a picture before it's too late. But so the point is, she has so many teeth. She looks like a shark, 100%. And so the point of it is they're taking all of them out, which will be like a big, like a lot of stuff. So that's happening today too. Jean is grateful for clean cushion covers. Lovely. That's so wonderful. Okay, folks. Oh yeah, what did I want to meditate on? Will somebody tell me what the title of this stream is? Because that's actually what we're going to be doing. I think it's breaking through the observer trap. Okay, thank you for writing that down. We're going to be doing some practice attending to the experience of the observer, and then go from there. So that's going to be exciting. That's going to be fun, and then we'll go from there. Yeah. Okay. Folks, what is happening? What's new? Okay, great. So, here we go. All right, we got something here. Nick says, capitalism in healthcare is a match made in heaven. Grateful for human life, even if it's yucky sometimes. It's yucky in the super rich, multisensory experience way. HD is always cool, right? It's yucky in the super rich, multisensory way. Yeah, I mean, it can be a lot. Reality can be quite a bit. So, let me see here. I can't tell from this view how many people are here right now. Can you hear that? It's like this intense bass rumble. Anyway, neither here nor there. So I guess I'll save talking about the concert a little bit till the end when people are revving up to write their reports. But the concert was very, very good. There was, in particular, 2 songs they played in a row that were like crushingly powerful. I couldn't recommend it enough. Very, very weird. I remember saying to the friend that I went with, it was their first concert, like, imagine someone just like plopped down in this moment and was listening to this music. You have no idea what you were listening to. It was just totally abstract, but because it like came in with this certain groove, you're like, oh yeah, this is music. Like, you dance to this, sort of. It's so weird. Such abstract music. So well done. So the point is, we'll talk a little bit about that and answer your questions after this. But until then, we're going to meditate for 25 minutes. I'm going to encourage you to do the following. Find a nice, comfortable position that you can maintain for the duration of the sit. I don't know why I'm hand signaling this. You can feel free to move if you want, but make sure to do so slowly and mindfully. And if you feel overwhelmed at all, make sure to listen to that and feel free to make an adjustment. I realize since there's people here who've been meditating with us for a while, I should start giving some more advanced instructions on posture and these kind of things, because I always give the absolute beginning instruction. Let's see, is there anything beyond just like be very, very still that I would recommend? Okay, so don't make any adjustments. This is for more advanced folks. Don't make any adjustments unless it's using the breath. This is something I like to do, is if you find that you're slumped over and you realize, oh, I need to sit up or something like that, you realize like there's something that needs to change. Just let the breath move the body slowly, and then the next breath sort of like lifts the body, etc. Use the breath as the thing that moves the body rather than you volitionally moving the body, because the breath already does it. You just basically hold in a posture as the breath moves yourself. So we'll begin from there. So once you find that nice comfortable position, we will begin. If you're just joining us, making sure, deciding, excuse me, cough here, mute myself. Deciding now what your intention is regarding the meditation. Do you want to stay for the entire meditation? Do you want to leave part way? And just sticking with that. It's often powerful to choose and stay, and the part of you that is like suddenly like, no, I have this idea, I want to leave, just to listen to that part, but not necessarily take the actions it's suggesting. So finding that nice comfortable position, and when you're ready, we will begin. Beginning by taking a few comfortable deep breaths and just feeling the body rise and fall. Each time we begin a meditation, we begin with the momentum of all of the previous moments. So as you begin to physically relax the body, recognizing that any tension in the body, any movement of the mind, is the result of the decisions we've made in the past and the circumstances we found ourselves in. And rather than allowing the mind to think about the past, wonder about the future, see if you can experience directly the results of all of these causes and effects in this particular moment. This moves us out of the role of being a passive bystander to our experience and allows us to become more active in experiencing this particular moment. Sweeping through the body to be sure we're not holding any undue tension, starting at the top of the head, relaxing the eyes, relaxing the muscles behind the eyes, allowing the face to go smooth. Relaxing the back of the tongue and allowing the jaw to go slack. No need to hold it closed. Relaxing the neck and the shoulders. The arms, the wrists, and relaxing the hands. Because the hands are so sensitive, so packed full of nerve endings, it's a great place to observe letting go physically, even more than we can normally physically feel. So even if it feels like the hands are already relaxed, seeing if you can let go more deeply. letting go of any attempt to control the breath, just letting the body breathe as it will. Noticing the natural tightening and relaxing of the upper chest and upper back as the breath comes and goes. Relaxing the belly and the lower back. Relaxing the hips and the upper legs. The knees, the calves, the ankles, and relaxing the feet. Then beginning to relax the entire body as one big collection. The mind tends to split our world into tiny pieces, so it's an important exercise to learn to observe collections of sensations as one soft set of sensations. Relaxing every aspect of the body all together. And tuning into the part of our experience that is by its nature compassionate. So this is not to be confused with any compassion we can create within ourselves. This is wholesome, it's good, but that's not what we're doing today. Looking for the aspect of our awareness itself that is open, spacious, kind. Awareness itself doesn't need anything to be different. So we might find part of ourselves that does want things to be different, that wants the meditation to go a certain way, that is annoyed or delighted by certain details in this moment. And that's fine. We're looking for a different aspect of our experience. It's the awareness that is open and compassionate to whatever it comes in contact with. And it can seem sometimes that it's hard to detect this quality. And I want you to know, although this might sound strange or overly simple, it's actually very straightforward. We just rarely notice it, or it can be difficult to notice because it's subtle. So looking for that part of our experience that is spacious, aware. It doesn't need anything to be different. At any moment we can either contact this or we cannot. And either one is fine. We'll have instructions for both possibilities. If we can contact this kind, accepting, compassionate awareness, then good. If not, then good. Knowing that it's hard to contact both our nature. If this kind awareness is available, seeing if we can identify with it, or at least abide within it. Recognize it as a kind of home. Feel its innate relief. If we find that we can't detect that, or it's hard to contact that kind awareness, this likely means that we are identified. We have a sense of a self that feels separate from this spacious, non-dual knowing of the mind. And that's fine. In that case, tuning in to the part that feels separate, often what we call me or I. Notice that separation feels distinctly separate from. There's an inside, a me, and an outside, which the mind considers not me. But both of these experiences are known by the mind, known by awareness. Seeing if we can contact the awareness which knows both of these experiences equally. Of course, the mind will try to represent these experiences. It'll try to understand them. And we're looking for a felt sense, a knowing that is direct, experiential, not an understanding, a thought. Experiencing that which seems separate, and the totality from which it is separate. And by experiencing them both, it's difficult to maintain the edge. Sometimes the edge is more clear, the self feels very separate, and sometimes it doesn't, just watching this movement. it's helpful, we can label the experience of the self as me, or maybe better, self. In the sense of that which it is disconnected from as world. Self, world. Self, world. Getting clear experientially how these feel as though they are discontinuous. They are alien from each other. This is self. This is world. And of course, as we do this, part of us recognizes that this doesn't add up experientially. These two are actually similar. They're both experienced by awareness. And so we begin to see that it's only part of us that experiences them as separate. In fact, it's the part that feels separate. Once again, this begins to deliver us to an experience, direct experience of awareness. Kind, open, without a need for that difference. Of course, awareness can see the difference, but it doesn't need it. So at any given point in this meditation, we are either connected with spacious, open awareness, an experience that doesn't need the edges and boundaries, the duality of self and world, observer and observed, or we feel that duality, we are separate, in which case we simply observe back and forth. This is the me that feels separate. And this is the world that it feels separate from. Not a problem, just nature. Over time, observing that it is only part of us that experiences that separation. And the part that can directly experience both, once again, shows us this awareness. If the mind drifts away, we become distracted. Often it is a self, a sense of a separate being that has a need. That need in that moment is to follow a particular impulse or thought. So rather than worrying about the content of that thought or the fact that we've made some mistake by being distracted, simply seeing which of these experiences this moment is built out of. Undivided, spacious awareness, or an identification, separation, some unconscious drive, and the world as it is divided. Neither is better. Both are part of the nature of human experiencing. If part of us feels that one is better, this is simply another part. Also not a problem. Staying with the practice, staying in stillness, allowing a tiny bit of light to enter the eyes, eventually allowing the eyes to rest on a single point as they fully open. Letting the spaciousness of open eyes and the spaciousness of seeing show us the open neutrality of awareness. And in this this way, allowing this particular moment to be the great teacher that shows us how we might bring this practice into every aspect of our life. Okay. So making any adjustments, stretches, movements, anything that would be helpful to allow your body to feel comfortable. Let's see here. I still have monitor 2 on. Yes, folks, so as you begin here, what happened? What do you like? What happened? What was it like? What do you like now? Hit me with any questions, quandaries, comments, queries, challenges, or concerns, and I will answer them appropriately. Okay, and as we do that, I'm actually going to reignite monitor 2. Where is that? Monitor 2. And I'm going to start. I'll talk a little bit about my experience at the concert while you're getting ready to put down your comments here. Oh, Nick said this is from before. Music is powerful, especially concerts. Lights up all areas of the brain, so there's no space left for your usual crap. Yeah, definitely. So I'll just say real quick. So this is the concert I was at. I mentioned this before. It's about 35,000 people on the beach, meaning you can just go swim during the show if you wanted, which was lovely. I went after, which was really lovely. Not icy cold, it was cool. It was very hot, but it's a cool ocean, black ocean. Like you just couldn't see the difference between the ocean and the horizon, except for like thin lines appearing when the waves would break. Really beautiful. Lovely to swim at night. I was right here, somewhere in this range, which was very, very cool. I'm going to make this a little bigger so I can just show you guys. So, a little bigger. That's a lot bigger. Okay, so this is where it was, and then I was here. There's like a push barrier, so people can't like charge or like whatever. There's a few of them. You can't see this one, but it's right there. And I was like 4 people in front of that, and there's probably 11 people or so in front of me. It's right here. Really fun to be that close. It's really exciting to be so close that if you yell, the people in the band, if you're like, they do something good and you're like, yeah, they can hear you. It feels really good. Nate says, I missed the whole thing due to a work call, but am intrigued by the title, but want to hear about the show. Yeah, re-listen to the meditation, Nate, because I think it might be helpful for what we described. In fact, I think it's what I described and described to you. So I'm trying to talk about the show for a layman's perspective. For one thing, Nate, I would suggest from night 2, which is the one I went to, listen to, if you can, not look at what the name of the following song is, but listen to Chalk Dust and then the following song. It's some of the best of this band that I've ever heard. Like that period. Get some headphones, get rid of any other distractions. It was really, really well done. That was something. Just Andy says the following.
Hi there. During the meditation I didn't notice the separation of awareness. Once the meditation began, I just sort of became the awareness that you mentioned. I tried to notice the edges and separation that you saying, but I just couldn't relate. I had to make myself notice the separation, which wasn't as pleasant as just being the open awareness.
Great. So remember, I was giving 2 sets of instructions. We want our meditation to be very permissive. We don't want the idea of like, okay, awareness good, separation bad. The separation is natural. And in fact, I don't want to say more advanced, but you could say a more nuanced, or a version of meditation. One is you see the separation. Maybe I could approach this from Okay, so we could say there's three ways of approaching this. One is you look at the self. Okay, where is the self? Where is it experienced? Where is the observer? That's one way to break it down. You look at that long enough, it just cracks. Another way to break it down is just to observe the world and find out, is there any part of me that is separate from this experience of the world or separate from my senses? Is there any space between what I call the world and me, or is it just this pretend line? So it's a world-focused direction. Excuse me. The other version is just to watch both together, and all of these will lead to the same place. Today we're observing both, because for me personally it tends to show this quality very quickly, that there's very little separation when we look at these things. Jean says the following.
That went well for me. Sometimes when we explore spacious awareness, I get too spacey and just sort of float away. It felt contained in some way. Pleasantly, I was also not feeling terribly disconnected, so tried to enjoy that experience.
Lovely. I'm glad that worked out well. Great report. Thank you for those details. Okay. Okay, let's see. What else? Anyone else? Okay, I'll talk about this concert for now. Nate, you had mentioned the lights. Oh my God, when you said they were extra, like they were like, I couldn't tell if you were saying like they're too much or they're like, but they were close to too much. I was like, that's quite a bit. So it was intense. It was very, very impressive. I don't know I always wonder if you guys can see things on my phone or if it's just too small, but there's one, I have one short video, because I'm just trying to really pay attention. I have one short video of the lights, which were just very impressive. Let's see here. Can you see this? Bob Marley song. Anyway, I wish I could just transfer this onto the screen because it's very, very small, but damn, the lights were crazy. This is what you get when you're like one of the richest, touring psychedelic band, or maybe the richest psychedelic band in the world. That's a lot of lights. UFO invasion. There's one thing which actually I bet you I can find this. Let's open a new tab. Forget Adyashanti. We want to watch the Phish concert. Okay. Someone doing it. Well, this is the overview.
Now, tens of thousands of people poured into Atlantic City this
is what it
weekend
looked like from above, which was, that's what it was. And again, I was so stoked, like, in this image, I'm way in front of all of this stuff. I'm like way over here. I saw someone posted a video of the lights themselves during Coil. Nope, that's a different. Nope. Anyway, if I could find this, I would. Anyway, hit me with more. That's a lot of lights. Which band is this? This is a band called Phish. Yeah, it's a band called Phish. Okay, this is Adyashanti again. Forget Adyashanti. I just want to watch a Phish concert. Exactly. That's my exact position. So this video, it's not from the concert I was at. It's from the next day. So I have no idea even what this video is. We can play it to give you some sense of what we're talking about here, but there's no sound, right? Or you can hear sound. Can you guys hear this? I'm not hearing anything. Oh, I see, it's quiet already. Okay, let me know if this is too loud, because it's always, I can't tell. Oh, I can tell if I do this. So this is the opener on the day I was not there, but this is just to give you a sense of what it looks like. And So I would just fully sit here for X long, just listen to the whole thing. But I feel like that's going to be a little boring for people. I'm going to fast forward a little. It probably gets weirder and crazier at some point, so I'll just fast forward just a little later. I feel like it's also hard if you don't play an instrument. It's like these guys are really virtuistic. I forget how to say that in that as an adjective. Virtuosos. Is that the whole thing? Anyway, I wish I could had the show from yesterday or the day before, but anyway, I'll get that music at some point. Really fun, really exciting concert. Got way up front, like very close. Afterwards, got to swim in the ocean. That's the whole recap. It's really fun. Got home at 4 a.m. Very delightful. So folks, any other reports, questions, quandaries, queries, comments, questions, quandaries, comments, queries, challenges, or concerns? Here we go. Nate says, so how was it? How would you apply it to meditation? Wait, when you say it, do you mean the concert? How would I apply the concert to meditation? I'm not sure if I understand the question. Nick says the following. Nick says,
I got interrupted. We'll do it again later. What I remembered is that my mind was talking quite a bit at the beginning, so I missed some of the instructions. Also, a coworker popped in. Felt annoyed on both occasions, and then mind began to picture both itself and the coworker as that annoying guy who talks at the cinema so you can't focus on the movie properly. But also noticed that that distracting thing is also part of this larger movie screen which you can always focus on.
Yeah, so anytime we have annoyance, or, I mean, it's this sort of like such a big, broad rule that it can feel insane as far as meditation. Anytime we're annoyed or have any emotional, not any emotional response, but I'd say, let's say annoyed. Anytime we're annoyed, where the mind separates the world. There's me being offended by this jerk, how dare they be at my workplace, etc. And it creates this structure and a narrative within which I am, and I'm being, assaulted, and I'm the key player in this narrative, of course. So to notice that separation is actually very powerful, to say, okay, it feels like the mind has separated the two of us. To observe exactly where that separation seems to be taking place, like precisely, okay, where is the sense of the separation? Okay, it's exactly here, but somehow the mind can feel like I'm separate. There's me. It says it's me. And then there's this outside world, which I can also detect. I can see it. I can hear it. There's outside. So there's inside and outside. But then to observe that something knows both of these experiences equally. And that's awareness. And over time, we can learn to identify with awareness. And the power of that identification is that we free ourselves from a lot of the boundaries of our narrative, of this sort of sense of inside and outside, of duality. Now, it doesn't mean that we can't use all the fruits of duality, but we don't have to be stuck in that. And life feels much more like a sort of weird massage than this sort of like separateness. And I think, who was it? Was it just Andy? Yeah, who mentioned earlier, when we observe the separation, it feels yucky just to feel separate. And the body mind is doing this a lot of the time. And it's very uncomfortable. It hurts. Or slightly uncomfortable, and is grating. So when we feel the relief of not having to be separate in this way, it's very powerful. So that's basically what we did in today's meditation. Is this one of those recycle the reaction moments? Every moment is a recycle the reaction moment. If you don't know what that means, it means whatever occurs, you fold it back into the meditation. You can't make a mistake that way. So if distraction occurs, if annoyance occurs, if, I mentioned in this meditation, you might have missed it, Nick, if you get distracted, it's usually because some sub-self, whatever, says, oh, I need to have this thought now, I need to do this thing, and it just pulls us away. Jean mentioned feeling spacey, so we get pulled away. And then we get pulled away, and I got pulled away into a whole set of thoughts about maybe we could do a book club here on the stream. It is a self, and you can feel the drive of that self. Oh, I want to understand these things, and to see that as something that is separate, it creates a separateness in the experiencing. to see that how it feels separate. What is it separate from? To notice its sense of the sense of its environment. And I say it's, but it might feel like me, my environment. Those two, and to see what knows both of those. We start to go back to connect back with the awareness. Nick says, yeah, always some kind of underlying unpleasantness, and we have to make it more pleasant, aka better. Yeah, there's always like something needs to be more like this or less like this. The person I went to the concert with is very like, whatever, man. And I noticed a lot of the time all the ways that I was like correcting reality. We were having the day after, we were resting and having a brunch, just having some salads on the street, and traffic, New York, and someone starts honking like, rah, rah, like it's like there's just a small street in Brooklyn, and this guy's honking, and he's right there. I turned to him like, dude, like, hey, like, quiet down. He's like, oh, like, gets all mad, and I'm like, come on, man, like, just chill. The truck's already moving, like, just chill. And he's like, getting all aggressive. And I thought it was funny. I was like, and then I talked to them about it. I was like, hopefully that wasn't too confrontational. And they're like, no, I wouldn't have done it, but I just sort of accept realities like is how it is, and that passivity is like helpful, but also means I can't correct certain things. And I just noticed all these little places where I like intervene. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting. So there's that. Oh, so here's my idea. Let me see what you guys think about this. Hit me in the chat if you like this idea. I'm about to read this book on non-duality. Big, heavy book. It's not like light reading, but the premise would be that we would listen to the book and do like a book club here. I don't know if that would be a DMCA thing or if we'd get like those taken down, because they would be replays on YouTube, so I don't know if that would be allowed. So that would be a question, is would that be allowed? I think it probably might be a problem. Let's see. Avoid copyright infringement during the pandemic. I'm trying to look up Audible settles copyright lawsuit over publishing. Can you listen to audiobooks? Audible captions. Avoid copyright. Anyway, I'd have to look this up. If there's someone who's how audiobooks on YouTube not a violation. Okay. The point of it all is that we might do a book club and just like take the time after the stream to, if people have questions, I can sort of like break in and answer them, but mostly we would be just spending each stream over the course of many months, big book, going over this book. Because I always find them like, I don't have time to read. It's like, oh, I got to do the stream. I was like, wait, why don't I do both? So we'd spend like at least 30 minutes per session doing that. That might be a fun way to do it. So folks, lovely. Any other comments, questions, queries, comments, quandaries, challenges, or concerns? Anything else? The Suite approves. Sounds fun. I know. I think it'd be good, right? That sounds cool. Who is the book by? It's David Loy, I think it is. Somebody wants to look it up. We can pull it up here. I can look it up. There we go. Got him. It's the second edition. Here we go. This book. Here it is in the chat. If you want to look it up. Nick says the following. Nick says,
there seems to be some part that feels like it's the judge of experience quality. Like, is this good enough and up to my impossibly high standards?
Yep.
Usually it is not. And at least it could be improved on, even if it's pretty good. But yeah, I also can see the judgment occurring, so.
Yeah. And see if you can meet that part that's judging everything that's happening with understanding. Like, of course you'd feel that way. That makes perfect sense. Like, yes, of course you would judge in that way. Of course it feels like a need. That makes perfect sense to me. And it's a way of coming to it with equanimity, so you can actually be with it instead of in it. And honestly, I think there's just layers to this, because the part that's like really ridiculously judgmental, like, you're stupid, like, it's sort of easy to see that part where like, oh yeah, there's the resentment. And then to see like there's a part that's assessing even that, and there's a part, and we sort of like are stepping back until we get to what we think might be awareness, and often is just like an awareness-like part of us, which is fine, but just noticing that and noticing it versus the sort of undifferentiated awareness. Folks, lovely to be here. Let's hit it back. Let's hit ourselves in the head. No, let's hit it back here in, oh wait, I'm trying to get rid of this monitor too. Get rid of that. I thought I got rid of that a while ago. Let's hit it back here in fewer than 48 hours here on the stream. Right now, in this particular moment, notice as I put this music on, there'll be parts of us that are assessing how this went, parts of us that are preparing for our next moments, parts of us that are getting ready to say a bye-bye in the chat, parts of me that have to answer this phone call. So I gotta go, guys. I love you so much.